7.7 is the last lesson that we have in Chapter 7. It involves finding something called the standard deviation. And we're going to use our calculator quite a bit. First, some review. We're going to find the mean of some data. This is something that we did much earlier in the year. We're going to be doing some basic statistics. Now, the statistics button is right by the down arrow. When we press stat, it might be a good idea to first go to number 5, the setup editor. And with setup editor, you're just guaranteeing, and then hit enter again, that really what's going to happen is any lists that would have been erased are going to show up. Everything is set up in the factory settings the way the calculator was meant to have it. So we're going to enter this data in that we have for this review problem. We'll hit stat. We'll write, we're just going to hit enter for the edit. Very likely you're going to see data in your first list. So we'll go to the top, hit the up arrow, and press clear. And when you bring it down, everything has been wiped clean. What you can do very quickly is just type in these numbers and hit enter. 13, 28. Next we'll hit 35, 11, 8, 38, 32, 25, 19, and finally 22. And that's maybe the longest part of the whole problem. What you can do right now is calculate the mean. We're going to hit stat. This time, though, we're going to hit the right arrow to go to calculate. We'll say one variable statistics. We'll hit enter. We'll have to hit enter 3 more times. And the very first thing that you see up there, that X bar, is the mean. It's the average of all those numbers. So we can say X bar is 23.1. We did this in Chapter 1. It was way back in August. Today, though, as you can see right here, the mean measures the average of the data set, but many times it's necessary to measure the dispersion or the spread of the data. And the standard deviation describes the difference or the deviation between the mean and any data value in the set. Now, the wonderful thing is, because we have this graphing calculator, we don't have to follow this formula right here. Instead, we're going to more or less do exactly what we just did a moment ago. I'm just going to press the clear button, go to stat. Number 1 is edit. But of course, we'd like to erase all this data. Hit the up arrow and press clear. When you bring it down, then it's all erased. Then I'm just going to type in these numbers. I don't have to reorder them. I just type the number and hit enter. And again, this is maybe the most time-consuming part of the whole problem. And you just have to be patient and pay attention to what you're typing in. And we're almost done. You can see 4040 is our second to last, and then we get 600. Once you've entered all of this data in, you can wonder, could I find this standard deviation? What you do is you press stat. You go to the right for calculate. One variable stats, hit enter. Hit enter 3 more times. The first number was the mean, the average of the data. But look not at the last entry of n equals 8, but look at this funny symbol. This is the Greek letter sigma, where maybe you can see sigma right over here in that box as well. And that's going to be 1,269. And maybe we'll go to 1 decimal place answer here, 0.4. That number is telling you it's a measurement of spread. It's a measurement of the difference or the deviation between the mean and any data value. The larger this number is, the more spread out your data is from the mean, of course. So what you're going to do is just continue to type these numbers in and let the calculator come to your assistance. Let's do another one. For example 2, and again we'll just slide this off. What you have to do is just go to Stat, hit Edit, go to the top and press Clear, and then just type these numbers in. 299, you hit Enter. 6,338, 3,006, and of course you want to be paying attention that you're typing these in correctly. As long as you're getting them typed in correctly, this should be a very simple problem. You'll definitely see these on our test. We'll have 3,065 being entered, 7,057, 3,132, almost done. We'll have 408, 1534, and finally the last number is 2699. All you have to do now is ask the calculator to work this out for you and to calculate the standard deviation. We'll hit Stat, right arrow to calculate, 1 var stats, hit Enter 3 times. Sigma is the second to last. If we were going to 1 decimal place, you can see that the 9 would become a 10 because right next to the 9 is a 5. So this is going to be 2056.0. That's really what our sigma, our standard deviation, would be. You can think it's 2055.9, but that 5 bumps the 9 up. So it's a 10, and you get a 0 with a 1 carrying over. Okay, just a little bit more to take a look at. It says find, let's skip number 3, and just for the sake of time. But what we'd like to do is answer this last couple questions. Tell which data set is more spread out. That's where you'd say sigma is bigger. The bigger sigma is, the more spread out the data is. Please realize they'll give you means, they'll give you X bars, but ignore them. For number 4, they're saying is set A or is set B more spread out? Well, I hope you can see sigma is bigger for set A. Set A is more spread out. Done. Last one. You can say, what if sigmas are equal? Well, then you are equally spread out. So that's it for the lesson, and we're going to move on to just reviewing.